Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're just gonna be ranting about farming in Lemuria. So the strategies are, the main strategy right now is usually you just go in, you blade up a few times, then you frenzy, and then you hit, kill everybody, then everybody full flees, cause that's new part, and then you come back and you defeat the other side, and then you just get your stuff and you get out. Number one, there's been some runs where they'll do that strategy, or they'll leave the support player in and then the hitters just flee and come back. And some people think that you get less drops if you do that, and to be honest, I was a believer of that myself at first, until I tried to test it, and I recorded some footage of it and I compared the two drops, and honestly I can't really be a good indicator of that, because my account's luck is so bad that I can't really test anything gear worth, because I don't get anything from these dungeons anyway. So I can't really, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I don't get anything from this dungeon. Now, it's probably different for other people, because maybe they can get way more lucky than me, and I'm a firm believer of not really even drop rate percentages. I'm a firm believer of either your account is lucky or it is not, and there is no in between. Now let me explain what I mean. I have two alt characters, one that's low level that is extremely lucky, and then I have my main account where I got all my characters on it, all 7 schools or whatever, and I don't get nothing on this account. If I was to try and run the same thing, like let's say I ran Waterworks for example, I'd be more likely to get gear on my alt account than I would on my main account, because that account is more lucky than my main account. Did that make sense? That kind of explains why some people are able to get stuff way quicker than you. And if y'all were to farm something different and y'all were to try to get drops or whatever, I'm pretty sure that they would get it quicker than you did if they're just luckier than you. But that's besides the point. It's not even about that at this point. It's just the fact that if I don't get anything, okay, cool, but this dungeon should at least supplement you with some other alternative. The only thing that this dungeon does is it gives you the worser part of the gear that you can use to craft it. Okay, that might have been cool if it actually dropped all the other reagents that you need to craft this stuff anyway. It don't drop TCs, it don't drop reagents, it don't drop anything. The only thing that you can get from here is this worser gear that you have to use to craft for something else, which is weird because you have to go everywhere else around the world to get this other stuff. Now let me explain what I mean. Let's talk about Putty for a second in the command center. Basically, this is the best dungeon you can try to do if you're trying to get Synthonium to craft any parts of the merciless gear or whatever. Now here's where account luck comes into play. Usually, if you're on somebody normal who has normal luck or whatever on their account, you could probably get 1 per run, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get that from this. Like, I didn't get this at all. Sometimes it would take me 2 full runs just to get one thing. Oh, there's an old one's artifact right here. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Mind you, you have to get 20 of these things in order to craft 1 piece of gear. Okay, so let's say that you know what I'm saying, that where you get low Synthonium parts it's just a part of the farming method. Okay, cool. But that does not excuse how bad the old one's artifacts are in this situation. Basically, the way you get these is you have to, I'm not even gonna try and tell you any other locations because they're just terrible, because they're too big for you to find any old one's artifacts anyway. So let's just talk about the best area and let's just move on. So basically what you have to do is do an entire 360 around this village and try and find 1 piece, and then after you're done you have to wait 60 seconds to refresh realms because there's only 1 spawn, which is ridiculous. That means that you have to do this 50 times because you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get a 2-drop. Well, at least y'all might, but I won't. So if it's me, right, I have to do this 50 times to find an old one's artifact, and that is not even including the fact that other people know that this is the best spot, right? And other people are going to be farming for it as well. That don't make no sense. So let's make a comparison real quick. I feel like you can compare this to Dragoon farming because you're farming for gear that's almost necessary for high level players, especially if you're doing PvP. My issue is when compared to Dragoon farming, right? Even though it's tedious, you at least know that every run that you do, you make progress. Now I can kind of see from a perspective, you can get the necessary gear that you need from the final boss if you get lucky enough, okay? That's cool and everything. But most people are not gonna be like that, or players who are like me, they're not gonna get these drops at all. So the only other alternative is just to get the worst gear and then try and craft it. When compared to Dragoon, at least you're getting reagents that you could use to craft the gear. You don't even get that from the final boss. You don't get anything else besides one piece of the puzzle, which makes this way more than just tedious. It makes it unbelievably time consuming, way more than Dragoon farming could ever be. I think the point I'm trying to make is, for players who are like me who are unlucky, I can understand if you want to like have your players consistently play throughout the day or whatever, get them to continuously play your game, cause that just brings in more money. I can understand that, but what I'm saying is there's got to be some form of give, because this is too tedious right now. Like, there's no way that this would be okay, because it would just take forever for me to do what I want to do in this game. I already have to get all the 148 wands. I already have to level up on all 7 wizards. Why do I have to farm so unbelievably hard to get the gear that they need so I can do what I want to do in the game, which is PvP? All I'm saying is, I hope this makes sense. All I'm saying is, for the unlucky people, at least make this somewhat more, at least make the final boss somewhat more reliable, because let's just keep it a stack, bro. This is the only dungeon you should be farming, because you could at least guarantee, well, not guarantee, but you could at least hope that you get the wrong piece of gear for the wrong school that might be useful later on. Anyways, y'all, that's pretty much it for my rant. I hope it's understandable. Let me know what y'all think about the final boss and what y'all want to see changes for. I think one of my only suggestions I would say is, let the final boss either have higher drop rates, or the better option or the better solution, because you don't want to make it too easy, right? Then crafting would be irrelevant. I would say at least let the final dungeon drop reagents every single time. It could at least be one of either old one's artifacts or one of Synthonium's, because that would make it at least more reliable or more sustainable. Be like, okay, I can go in here and I can actually farm with randoms and stuff or whatever, even though the runs are not even consistently good, that are extremely time consuming. I'll at least know that I'm making progress towards something that I want. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next video, and yeah.